Peter Schweizer is the president of the Government Accountability Institute and host of the Drill Down podcast. Peter, this was a classic honeypot operation.
Yeah, it was. And Eric Swalwell's recklessness is apparent from the very beginning, Jesse. Let's remember, she shows up at his house late at night. They hook up. He is then in 2013 joking to friends that his new girlfriend might work for the Chinese CIA, he said. He then later would tell the FBI that it was weird because she kept pressing him and his family to visit China, something she offered to pay for, but none of this deterred him. He's elected to Congress in January of 2015. He joins the House Select Intelligence Committee, top secret clearance. And yet 3 months later, in April of 2015, he hooks up with her again. It's only after the FBI tells him, effectively, by the way, we're watching her and we know what's going on, that he cuts off ties with her completely. So incredible recklessness on the part of Eric Swalwell.
And so they gave Swalwell a defensive briefing. When there's a foreign intelligence operation targeting a politician, you get a briefing from the FBI to say, watch out. Why didn't they do that to Donald Trump with the Russians? Didn't they use that briefing to spy on him and entrap him?
Yeah, that's the other part of this story that is really terrible, and that's the conduct of the FBI and elements of the Department of Justice, including Jack Smith. The selective nature in which they handle these kinds of incidents is absolutely appalling. So you've got Eric Swalwell, who is in a physical relationship with a Chinese woman who the FBI believes is a member of the Ministry of State Security, and just to put a cherry on top of it, her two parents are both members of the Ministry of State Security. And rather than seeing that as the national security threat for what it is, they're focused instead on this ridiculous dossier that they concoct against Donald Trump that had no sourcing, no primary evidence, but they were prepared to put a task force together and go after Donald Trump on that allegation. Again, it shows the selective nature of the FBI and the reason that we need to clean house in the FBI in a major way.
And fangs grow on trees in D.C., right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge problem. You probably remember the story, Jesse, from a year ago. It kind of died very quickly. There was a brothel in Northern Virginia that was busted. It was run by, I think, some Koreans and some Chinese. There were reports that members of Congress, military brass, were going there. People were arrested, but it's been completely hushed up.
I remember that. And that story disappeared faster than any story that I've ever covered. We might have to look back into that. Thanks for jogging my memory, Peter. Good to see you.
Thanks, Jesse.